Welcome to Marketing with Russ, aka hashtag Russ Selfie. Today I have my amazing friend who is so full of joy, Mr. Michael Ray. It's going to be so good. We're going to talk about the Smile Project. We're going to talk about life. You got to tell your friends. We're getting started. Here we go. Let everybody know. Do you want to know how amazing people connect? Well, you're in the right place. Welcome to Marketing with Russ, aka hashtag Russ Selfie.
Thanks for connecting. And if you like what you hear, please share.
Special thank you to our sponsors of Marketing with Russ, Capital Mortgage Source, Southpaw's Perfect Pizza, and Farmers Insurance Carrie Whitlatch Agency. For more information on Capital Mortgage Source and their mortgage services, go to capitalmortgagesource.com. And for more information on Southpaw's Perfect Pizza in Albany, Oregon, and their amazing pizza, go to southpawspizza.com. And finally, for more information on Carrie Whitlatch and Farmers Insurance, call 541-258-3995. Music by Connor Hedge and Protestant, used with permission. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Marketing with Russ, aka hashtag Russ Selfie. On this Monday morning, I am so excited that you're with us, and it's going to be a great day. Why? Because I've decided it's going to be a great day. You know, our mindset and the perspective we take on at the beginning of the day is so important. And my guest today, Michael Ray, is amazing, and he has such a great mindset and perspective. I can't wait to get him on to talk, but we got to do a few things first. So glad you're here. You know, I am so blessed. First off, I just want to tell you all what a blessing this community is. So thankful for your prayers. You know, I was looking through as my intro went by, and I was looking at some of my friends that have been on as guests on the show that are in the intro. They have had their own struggles in life and their own challenges within the last year or two, and we're not immune to that. You know what? But that doesn't mean we can't keep a positive mindset and perspective. And, you know, my guest today has had his own challenges in life. We all do. We all do. But you know what? We still get to focus on the fact that God is good, that there are so many positive things around us. You know, when I stack up all the bad things and then I stack up all the good things way outweigh the bad things. It's just amazing. There are so many positives and blessings in life. So we need to focus on that. And first off, I just want to tell you how blessed I am to have this amazing opportunity to share with you and the amazing sponsors we have that I already talked about. Community, our Capital Mortgage Source, and Bob is amazing. Southpaw's Pizza and Farmers Insurance and Carrie Whitlatch. They are just great friends, but they're also amazing people and supportive. And I just want to say all their information is there. You can click on, you can reach out to them. Even if you're not in this area, but you just want advice in whatever they deal with, they would be so great. And I tell you, if you're not around to eat Southpaw's Pizza, but you want an amazing entrepreneur that has got so many businesses and doing great stuff, you need to talk to my friend at Southpaw's Pizza, Chris Reese. He's amazing. So anyway, also, besides being sponsor supported. This is also listener supported. So if you feel so moved to want to give to our live streams, I call it a ministry, the opportunity to share people's value, please do. You can click the QR code or the link will be in the comments and the show notes. So thank you for that. Okay. Also, let's just talk about this for a minute. What is Marketing with Russ all about? What are you really talking about? Well, I tell you, this show is about how amazing people connect. And I'm telling you today, Michael Ray is one of those super spectacular, amazing people. When you connect to build community, when you reach out and give to others, makes such a big difference in their life and in your life too. It will move you more. If you want to encourage yourself, encourage and lift up others, inspire others, that will encourage and inspire you. Trust me, I have learned this firsthand. And connection is what I'm all about. I love to people, even when I don't have a lot of energy every day and I can't do a lot, I can come before you in the morning and I can bless you and connect with you. And that it gives me energy. People light me up. And you can connect with me at russhedge.com. Russhedge.com is a place to go. Super simple. If you know my name, you know how to get there. All the information about me, all my connection links, it's all there. You can even schedule time directly on my calendar. So I'd love for you to do that. Also, if you would be so kind, our YouTube is really growing. If you can subscribe, you will be blessed. Why? Because there's so much value. Hundreds going on, thousands of people. We're almost episode 500 here on Marketing with Russ. Also on my YouTube page, there is the Experience Live with Russ and Scott, the Experience Local, and Russ Reels Live. They're all there. So lots of good information and value for you. How do you subscribe? You say, well, guess what? If you know the name of the show, you can just go there. Marketingwithruss.live will get you directly to my YouTube page, marketingwithruss.live, and you can click there, subscribe today. In fact, you can open another tab right now. Go ahead, open it up, click on it, and subscribe today. You'll get all that value. It'll bless you. Trust me, it really will. I would also really appreciate it if you share this out today. You know what? There's a lot of people, they're busy. It's Monday. They don't know. They're trying to figure their day and their week out, and they forget that there's amazing live streams on, like the one today with Michael Ray. So share this out, tag your friends, let them know, and at least they'll know, because if they can't watch live, guess what? This converts to video podcast. It sits on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook, and then it converts to audio podcast. Also, you can listen on iTunes, Spotify, Amazon, whatever your favorite podcast platform is. So I would love if you would do that. Last couple of things. Don't forget, you get my book, Befuddled, Live the Life You Choose, or my other 4 anthology books, which I was so blessed to be part of. #1 on Amazon, international bestsellers. And they have some of my cancer journey in there, as well as other things about my life that you might want to be interested in. And I use those to encourage you. If you want to learn about purpose, perspective, you want to learn about how to have a good mindset and how to live a good life, get a copy of Befuddled, Live the Life You Choose. You'll appreciate it. You can get it at russhedge.com, believe it or not, all the books, or just go to Amazon or any online booksellers. You'll find it there too. So anyway, that is so going to be just a blessing to be able to do that. I'm working on my next book, so I'll give you more information on that later. Okay, last but not least, every Monday and Thursday, we do our marketing tip of the day. This is in honor of my guest today. I'm sure that he will enjoy it, and because he brings joy. So, and I think this is so important. These marketing tips of the day, they get cut out separately, put on YouTube Shorts, on social media, and all that separately is just a marketing tip. But you know what? They're really tips on life, just a short little nugget to help you get moving in the right direction. So, are you ready? Okay, here we go. This is your marketing tip of the day. Smile and laugh. There you go. Smile and laugh. Why? Why should you smile and laugh? Because joy improves everything in your life. When you look on the bright side, when you look on the positive side, when you take a moment, smiling and laughing actually physically affects your body in a positive way. It actually creates chemicals, and it rewires synapses in your brain, and it does amazing things that help you in everything you do. It will help you in your personal life. It'll help you in your health. It'll help you in your business. So today, remember, enjoy life. I know that it's so rough sometimes and some things happen that are just not good. I get that. It's okay to rest in that for a moment, but then just find a way to find joy, smile and laugh, enjoy life in spite of your circumstances, because you remember your circumstances don't define you. And that is your marketing tip of the day. All right, there we go, everybody. Let's get Michael Ray in the room. Here he comes, Mr. Michael Ray.
What's up, man?
Oh,
How are you, my beautiful friend?
I am so good, and I'm so blessed to have you. You know, I have these moments in my life, even through the struggles, where I find joy and just love being around people like you. It really lifts me up, and then it helps me get through the rough times, right? And so I appreciate you being here today. And I'm just going to start off simply, and then we're going to dive into things. Just give everybody who doesn't know you, which is like one person online, who is Michael Ray? What is the Smile Project? What are you up to?
Who is Michael Ray? I'm a father of 4. Actually was a father of 5 because I do have one of my twins that's always watching over me as my guardian angel in heaven. 3 daughters, one with Down syndrome, and my son. I have my gorgeous Molly, the love of my life upstairs. What am I all about? I'm all about just really now, I guess, I've repurposed my life about creating impact and influence on the lives of others. Just impact their attitudes and behaviors. You mentioned something earlier in your intro that is so true, and that is, and we it's funny you mention it when you talk about choices, because we tell our kids all the time life is full of choices, and one of those choices that we have is the choice to be grateful and to focus on those things that make us so joyful and happy, even though and hopefully I'm in a safe space when I say it, because my beautiful Molly wears a t-shirt saying welcome to the shit show, even though sometimes life gets hard. There's still so many things that we can choose to fill our minds and our space to be grateful for. And it's as you've gone through your cancer journey, and my Molly's going through her cancer journey, it reminds me of one of the early things that I did for someone who was 28 and battling stage 3 colon cancer, and out of nowhere. And a lot of times when I've been with hundreds of strangers now, is that I never know what I'm going to say, but I generally have a few short prayers that I say when I'm entering into that space. And I was with her, and I uttered the words, for those where, when life gets hard and they choose to smile through such adversity is an amazing and impactful thing. And you're living that lesson. So we are insanely grateful for the platform that you have and what you, as far as your messaging that you put out to the world too, Russ.
Well, I tell you, you are such a blessing. And the reason I love what I do is because of people like you. Because I tell you, my why and purpose in life is to inspire and encourage others to be joyful and live a purpose-driven life. And you and I are in the same path. I mean, my number one thing I love to do is inspirational speaking and really make an impact on people, make a difference in their lives. And part of that is all around the joy, but it's all around choices. Like my first book, the subtitle is Live the Life You Choose. My upcoming book is Life Happens and Then You Choose. And, life happens so suddenly. Yeah. It just happens so suddenly. Like you said, I mean, you suddenly find out you have cancer. You suddenly, somebody in your family passes away. Suddenly there's family problems, whatever is happening in somebody's life. It seems to happen so quickly, but you know what? We all get to make that choice. Like you said, where do we go from there? Do we look at the positive? Do we try to make a positive difference and be a blessing to others in spite of that? And I think that's so important.
It is. And it's something that I have looked at every situation when I have been blessed with the opportunity to make people feel loved. through the simplicity of smiling. And I guess the other thing that I would touch on, that if anybody watching that doesn't know, the genesis of Smile Project Louisville was just over a little girl, who had Down syndrome, who can't speak, who is nonverbal, and understanding the simplicity and the affirmation of, kind of your marketing tip of the day, smile and laughter. And that's really where I got that affirmation of love. And a lot of times when I've been blessed and had the opportunity to speak to people, more often than not, it's with people who are parents, and looking at them and saying, we take that for granted. Imagine, one of your children never being able to say, I love you, Dad, or I love you, Mom, because it's just what happens in life. And never hearing that from my Maddie, who is now 25 years old. It's okay, because that affirmation for me, it's just, it literally lights up my heart and soul when I say, do you love Daddy? It literally is enough joy, to last 365 days. So, but yet I found myself at one point in life of looking at it so negatively, like, God, why did you give me someone that has, almost infinite challenges and beyond special needs, rather than looking at all of the joy that relationship and the blessing of being her father has shown me. And when you tie in faith and knowing, God, it's not a curse, but it's a blessing, and understanding what those blessings and gratitude are, to then want to share that with others. And then, like you, when all of a sudden you find yourself having a platform, it is humbling at times, because I often laugh and say, and you probably understand this, I don't take, when people talk about how amazing I am, I'm like, I'm just another dude trying to make it in this world, but yet make everyone else's life maybe a little bit better too on this journey, because, like you said, we don't know when things are going to change, and when we're going to get a phone call where we've lost a loved one, or we're battling cancer, regardless. And that's kind of how I looked at it, is we all process these challenges differently. So when I've had such amazing opportunities to be with strangers that are battling circumstances and in a lot of that in life, I never look at them any differently, because we all process things differently. So,
yeah, well, for sure. And I think that, what I have found is the best thing for me, life gets really crazy, overwhelming, you know, um, and I want to talk a little bit about what you're currently going through, but through my whole battle, people sometimes that aren't going through like cancer and things like that don't realize how it changes your whole life because of side effects you have, because of different things you're having. I've gone from, you know, just having cancer on my foot to traveling all the way to my brain, becoming a diabetic. Recently, it shut down my adrenal glands and started on my thyroid and other areas. End up in the hospital because of just what you're taking. Then they give you medicine to overcome that. And then you have side effects from the medicine that they give you. And so all of these things pile up and they get overwhelming. But what I have found and what God has really instilled in me, I just take one step at a time. I just give thanks for the good things. And I realize that I got to get through these challenges. And I just do them one thing at a time. But I always know God is going through with me, which helps me. And right now, I think that's really a comfort for you, what you're going through. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah. And, maybe the aspect that you didn't know, but again, when we talk about things happening for a reason, I think that some of these things that kind of happened to me before what you wanted me to share is that I lost my job in early November. And as a 55-year-old man, and then getting ready to go into the holidays, that comes with some frustration and, maybe a little depression. And all of a sudden you find yourself 6 weeks into unemployment, and then you're getting a call at 7:30 in the morning from, my fiance, that they detected cancer from a mammogram. And, it's just days before our family Christmas party, days before Christmas. There's never a good time to hear about cancer, let alone during the holidays. And early on, the frustration and challenges of being unemployed and loss of income, as that journey took over for my Molly, we started to really appreciate and be grateful that no, I'm not working. And that I was able to go to the endless doctor's appointments, as you would know, that led up to, when you get a diagnosis, it felt like there for the better part of 3 or 4 weeks. It was 2 or 3 appointments a week. And, they were taking up hours. But again, looking at it going, no, maybe, again, trusting God and that path and journey and where we are in life going, no, he knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
So I could be there and really be, my full attention to the love of my life and a lot of the family and friends who then have endless questions. But, then finding yourself, going into a double mastectomy, and just literally 7 days ago, having, a double mastectomy. And all that brings on. But yet again, the blessing of being able to be here and almost, being Nurse Ratched. And again, I'll reinforce the choices. When you talk about smile and laughter, this is the laughter part in which, we started having a lot of, humor around it, in which she started blaming me for giving her cancer. But it became a really big joke, and I didn't even share this with you, Russ. The day before Molly's surgery, we of course went to mass, and we went back afterwards, and we wanted to have, we're Catholic, and have anointing of the sick. And we're somewhat close with this priest. And as we were kind of chopping it up, Molly said to Father Chris, going, well, if Michael wouldn't have given me cancer, and he erupted in laughter, so in being playful with it. And he's like, well, I didn't know that was an STD. And just finding ways, again, through it, laughing and now, she's got, multiple drains and managing that, throughout the day. But again, looking at the beauty of now going, no, I'm home and I'm with you on this journey. And as we've prayed countless times, regardless, because of course we think through faith, there's only one outcome, that our faith is going to be powerful enough that it doesn't mean the challenges are still not going to be there. Now, our outcomes so far through surgery and things have been very positive, but we're waiting for answers. But our faith, we know that regardless of whatever word we're going to get, that he is going to be with us on this journey. And, at times, as I've experienced that in my life, I do go back to, the footprints in the sand, and that God never leaves us, in which, so many of these times he's actually carrying us,
Yeah. Well, and you're so right, because I'm a firm believer that God works all things for the good, those who love him, Romans 8:28. And it is true fact that we don't know why things happen. You're losing your job seemed like a horrible thing, and yet God had a purpose and a plan for that. And you know what? He is your provider. He will take care of you. I have found that so true in my life and my family, that people have been such a blessing when I can't work very much every day. I can get up and do my live stream and do a couple things, and that's about it. And then I'm sleeping. And so,
and let me tell you, Russ, when you talk about that, and of course, you've known my journey and how many random acts of kindness to strangers I've done. There have been so many times in which I have not had the resources to do things, and people have been reaching out. I'm talking about in great need, and I have prayed over it. And then literally days later, there is anonymous or a random donation to me, and I'm able to do something for someone in which you just trust that regardless of what you're going through, that God is going to find a way.
Oh my goodness, for sure. And that's why it's true. When it's God's plan, you know, I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. That is
Philippians
Philippians
4:13,
4:13.
baby.
That's it. One of my favorites. And it's true, because when God's got the plan, it's going to happen. He's going to make a way, and we don't have to worry about it. And we worry anyway, and we fret anyway, and we still do those things. But God is trying to tell us it's okay. But you know what? This is what I really want to end with.
What truly outside of the cancer, the surgery, and you may understand this, one of the hardest things that I've had, careful, hard's not the word, but we've had so many people reaching out. Right. It is challenging at times to keep up and keep everybody informed. But I then look at the beauty of that, because these are people who love, who care, that would give you their shirt off their back for you to be healthy. So even though it may be a couple of hundred texts and DMs, that is okay, because they love.
Yes. Well, it's amazing. The people's love between my beautiful wife and family and friends like you. Really, when I started my journey, I was the happy guy, kind of like you. But on social media, I was the happy guy, right? I didn't ever talk about negative things. And when God told me, I want you to share your story, I was like, really? Because I don't want to be like crying over spilled milk and be negative and all this stuff. He goes, no, you're going to inspire and encourage other people, and you can inform people as to what's going on. What I have found too, because it does get overwhelming in a beautiful way, that by putting a couple posts and people following my story, you can get to thousands and thousands of people quickly. And then it's a little bit more centralized as far as getting back to people. And that has helped me a lot, but it also has been such a blessing to me. So listen, I want to, as we wrap the show up today, I want you to wind things up with all these circumstances, all these things that have happened to you over your lifetime and just recently. They are not defining where you're going. They're not defining what you're choosing as your attitude, your perspective, and your mindset. You are making that choice. Just wrap this up as to why that is so critical for people to look at, because it's easy to wallow. We all do that. It's easy to get depressed and think, oh my goodness, life sucks and nobody loves me. But why is that not true?
First and foremost, I always start with faith. Now, not everybody doesn't have faith in their life, and that's okay, because I often go to that place that I'm not here to judge who you are and what journey you're on. But, a few years ago, I had a random conversation, to be honest, the guy's name escapes me, of someone in Canada, but and probably a lot like you. As our platforms and movement have grown, so many beautiful people have reached out, and he had talked to me in our conversation about the company that's called Life is Good. And a lot of people have kind of seen their merchandise and their apparel and things, but he actually asked me a question in that conversation about that, because he asked if I knew who they were, and I said, well, absolutely. But then when he said, do you know what their mission statement is? And I was like, what? I'm like, well, life is good. He said, no. It's very simple, but it has very powerful meaning. And I had shared something just a little bit ago. We smiling and choosing to smile through adversity is that choice. But yet when he told me about the mission statement for Life is Good, it brought me back to that choice of, regardless of whether the adversity, challenge, and anything we're going through in life is just simply this: life is not perfect. Life is not easy. Life is good. And so many times I've gone back to the relationship again that I've had with my daughter with Down syndrome. And even though she can't do a lot in life, life is, and when I use the term insane, I'm insanely joyful. It's because of how she looks at life, and where I have found so much joy and purpose in happiness is what my daughter has taught me. In that, for me, joy and happiness comes from two places, and that is faith and people. And when you're going through tough times, it's all about the love, that people can share with each other. And I've asked a lot of questions to complete strangers, and one of the three, and I'm only giving you one, is what is life's greatest blessing? And for me, it's love. So
Amen.
For me, it's Christ's love that he had for us, that he died for us, and the ability now, regardless of what anybody is going through in life, the ability to love them, to see them through it. Yeah. And I've read so much with Mother Teresa, and I'm gonna wrap it up here. But it was just an extension of Maddie, to where those people that she ministered to in India were so poor. We're beyond anything that we really know here in the States when we talk about poverty. Yet she had talked at times how joyful those people were. And it was because of their faith and the relationships, the loving relationships that they had in their life. So even though cancer's upstairs and life is not easy right now, life is still really, really good.
Well, I am with you 100%, Michael Ray, and you are one of my go-tos for joy. When I need something, I just want to talk to you and look at what you're putting out to the world. And I just want to tell you what a blessing you are to me, how much I truly love and appreciate you. And I am with you 100,000%. But we have to wrap it up for today. So we're going to have to do some more another time, because you're like one of my favorite guests. So we're going to have to get you back on, and we'll laugh and have some more fun.
Love you,
and we'll
friend.
talk about all the good things that have happened since we talked last. So
Amen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Love you too. But I'm going to say goodbye for today. Hang tight in the green room for just a second, and I'll be right there. But I'm going to continue to pray for Molly, for you, for your family, and just continue to be filled with joy along with you.
Thank you.
You bet. See you in a minute. Well, everybody, I tell you, that just goes so quickly, but I tell you, there's going to be another time. We're going to get Michael Ray back on here for sure. So thankful he took a moment to be with us today. And I'm telling you, life is a blessing, and God does work all things for the good. And no matter what's going on in your life, I can attest firsthand that there are better things ahead, that there's good to come, that God works all things for the good, that those who love him. I truly believe that. And I am with Michael Ray, my faith in God and my strength, and then my beautiful wife and family, what keeps me going, and wonderful, wonderful friends like you, all the amazing people in this community. So don't forget, we're here every Monday and Thursday, 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, for your listening and viewing pleasure. And we are also, this will also become an audio podcast on iTunes, Spotify, Amazon, all of those things. So you can listen as well. And I just tell you, I just appreciate you all. We'll be here again on Thursday. So don't forget to come join us at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Until then, have a blessed day and a blessed life, and choose to smile and laugh. Have a good one. See you, everybody. Bye.
Thanks for joining us for this week's episode of Marketing with Russ, aka #RussSelfie. Be sure to subscribe in your favorite podcast app so that you don't miss a single episode. Have an amazing day.